Okay, thank you so much for accepting my invitation for a podcast. It's very honored today to see you, Mark, and chatting with you.
Oh, yeah.
And today I will ask you a couple of questions. We will speak about your journey as a composer. Okay, so let's start. So the first question I have, Mark, how do you start making electronic music? That's my first question. I want to ask you about your journey in electronic.
Well, started a very long time ago. I think it was when I had my first synth originally. But before that, even before that, when I was in school, I was in a garage band,
Mm.
and um, yeah, there was Emma, who was the singer and uh, keyboard player and writer. There was Mark Poole, one of my best friends, who still is one of my best friends from school. Gareth Moss, again, one of my best friends from school. And we were in a band, and I think we called ourselves Perfect Strangers. I can't remember now. But anyway, we were like a little garage band, and we had a friend of ours, Gareth, whose dad owned a garage, which was like a large industrial unit, and we used to play among the lorries in there and sometimes use the lorries' headlights as spotlights. So we had like a private concert,
Mm.
and I started getting involved in little Casio sample machines, and we'd sample like the car engine or the something and bring it into songs and birds echoing, stuff like that. So that's how I really started. And then one day, I just took over from the singer, and that was it. I'd never really thought about being a lead singer. I was always happy playing the keyboards, the synths, but I took over, and that was it. I just became that. But I think my first synth was a Casio CZ 5000. That
So
was my
that's your
first
first
synth.
synthesizer you used.
A CZ 5000.
So okay, so the first synth you have.
Yeah, that was my first proper synth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So, another question. How do you discover your particular sound?
I think it's a mixture of my personal music taste, the bands I look up to and I admire, and the bands that always their music got me excited inside whenever I used to play it or hear it on the radio.
Mm.
All the early 80s electronic bands, and also inspired by the people that I've worked with, my collaborators. They've really
You have a lot of
made,
collaborators. Yeah.
yeah,
Amazing
they've,
projects you did. I listen to
yeah.
some of your music. I really enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
A masterpiece.
Yeah, they always make me run for, we call it metaphorically running for the bus. So they set the bar high,
Mm.
and I'm somewhere here, and I have to run really fast to try and keep up. And I've only got little legs, so I struggle to keep up sometimes.
So, yeah, I think by experimenting by years, you discover your sound.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's ever a finished process. I think it's evolutionary. I think it's organic. I
Yeah.
think it changes and evolves
It's
depending
evolved
on the
by
influence.
time and experiment. Yeah. The more you
Yeah,
experiment, the more you get evolved.
yeah, exactly. Depending on um the influences I come into contact with, and also other people will sometimes send me demo. My collaborators will send me like an instrumental piece of music, and that massively will inspire me and set my creative juices off. So it depends on. I think you're only as good. It's a cliche and it sounds cheesy, but you are only as good as the people around you.
Very interesting.
I
Very
choose
interesting.
to I choose to work with people who I think are among the best.
The most of your music you collaborate, you know, it's a collaboration, most of your music is a collaboration with a different artists from worldwide.
I think so. I mean, I've got, yeah. So with me, a bit of a strange one. I suppose I've got what I call my musical constants. So the people who have always been there, and the bands that have always been there. My baby is We Are Shelter,
Yeah, Shelter, I knew it.
which is yeah, DJ Jekyll, Rob Bradley, who to me is genius. He just is, on multiple levels. He gets involved in everything, the same as me. We've been together a very long time. We've been together since 1999
Wow, that's long, long time.
when we first met. Yeah, I was looking for a studio to record in. I was in a boy band at the time.
Ah,
Um, not that you look at me now and think that, but I was.
you're in a
And then
different level right now.
and then we sort of met in the studio, and he was recording what I'd written. Written a six-track EP, and he and I, after the recording, spent more time talking and listening to our own love and taste in music, which is 80s.
Oh,
And we just started writing and recording together as artists, and then slowly but surely over time, I left the boy band and just wanted to focus on writing with and recording with Rob because it was just more exciting. It was music that I
so
loved. It was
maybe he
80s.
inspire you,
You know.
when you meeting it the first time, he inspire you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he always inspires me, and he constantly surprises me. He'll do things which are evolutionary from the last thing we did, and you kind of think, I don't really know where this is going. I don't really understand maybe this, but it's not really important for me to understand it. Let's just go with it and see where it takes us. So it's always a bit of an odyssey. It's always a bit of a journey when we start something because I think if we're honest, neither of us really know where we're gonna end up. But I kind of like that. That's what keeps it interesting. You know,
That's right. Okay. So another question. So which approach do you follow, Mark?
which bands,
Which approach do you follow
as in what for songwriting or.
for your, for everything?
The
Your
approach I
approach.
follow, I think I try not to. Okay, so that's a good question, actually. One I don't really have a solid answer for, but I'll give it a go. So I would say I try not to conform to templates of expectation. People have expectation and they form norms like templates, quite rigid templates. When you start writing or recording in a certain style or sound, they expect you to perpetuate that and to continue it,
Mm.
but I don't like that. I like being evolutionary, as I said. I like sounds evolving and developing and progressing. And you're never going to do that if you always typecast yourself as one particular thing
So you
or one
want to
particular
take your
sound.
audience to the next level.
So,
You want to
well,
take your
yeah, I want
audience
us to,
to the next level.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love artists that evolve. It's the reason that in the early days I fell in love with Madonna and her music because you never knew what she was gonna put out next with her image, with her sound. Always kept surprising people. The same with Annie Lennox and the Eurythmics. Annie Lennox was always coming, new sound, new image. You know, she'd be dressed as a man on the one day, and then she'd be the most pretty woman on the next day, and the sound went along with that evolution as well. It was a cross between mainstream pop and electronica, and I loved it. And it was a really delicate balance between the two. I really liked it. Yeah.
So it's amazing you fuse between electronica and trance. It's beautiful. Your mix.
Yeah, yeah. There's a bit of an anecdote with the trance. So, Rob and I, the Jekyll and I, Shelter, we first signed to a techno and trance label in Germany
Mm.
when we were very young, and we were making techno and trance then,
Techno and
proper
trance.
hardcore techno and trance. Yeah,
Interesting.
hardcore trance. Yeah, so we've gone kind of full circle in a way. We kind of come back a little bit to it, but yeah, I've always loved trance, progressive house, trip hop. Uh, um,
So you're
in the
interested
early
in all
days,
kind
I
of
liked
genres in
acid house
electronic.
and yeah, garage, acid house, jungle, ambient soundscapes. Yeah, I've got a whole. You name a
Have
subgenre
you
of
played
electronica, and
ambient
I've kind of.
before? Have you played ambient music before? Have you experimented with the ambient field?
We haven't. Well, I haven't personally, but we Shelter haven't as such. We there are dropouts or breakdowns in our songs sometimes where the Jekyll will put in some beautiful carpets of sound and layers of ambient textures and things. But we've never focused specifically on that. Um, certain parts of certain songs lend themselves quite well to that. But no, I think I'll leave the ambient stuff to the experts. I'll just continue supporting them and buying their music. I'm a bit of a patron of the art, so
You prefer to
I
listen,
yeah,
to listen to
I
ambient.
spend a lot of music on buying other people's music.
That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting, Mark. So another question. What gear do you use in studio and live? When you go live performance and in your studio,
Oh
what's
my
the gear?
god. Oh my goodness. Well, this is where I'm going to let myself down now and the band because I'm not the technical expert here. Really speaking, it's the Jekyll that would answer that. But I think overall,
Do you
the
have hardware
digital audio
synthesizers, software
workstation,
synthesizers, digital synthesizers?
yeah. So the digital audio workstation that has tended to be a constant for us is Cubase. We tend to use Cubase in the early days. We used Logic and Logic Audio.
Logic
Um,
Pro. Next.
but we use a mixture. Yeah, we've used everything in our recordings from um, uh, Reason propeller heads, Machina. At the moment, I know for a fact that Rob, the Jekyll, he's using and working with some boutique synthesizers, modular synthesizers, which I can't wait to actually get to the studio and hear what he's been doing. Um, with those, but I have heard some demos of the new tracks for what will be our fifth album. At the moment, we're halfway through the fifth album, and I'm really excited. I'm really proud of what we've done so far. It's about 5 tracks so far, but we're tending to go a little bit more minimal and a little bit more linear with our sound.
Hmm.
Um, but a little bit more considered with what we put where and how much of it. But I know for a fact Rob has told me he's going to be working with boutique modular synthesizers on this new album. So yeah, live we try and keep it a little bit simpler because otherwise there's a lot of equipment to take. So we tend to use Cubase, which triggers everything else. And I know Rob plays a guitar. Most people know him as his trademark instrument. He plays his guitar on stage, which again is all MIDI operated
Hmm.
and MIDI controls and everything. And yeah, that's it really. We try. We're getting less fussy as we get older. We're we're getting to hone our art a little bit more.
So, okay, that's interesting. So, what's next for you as an artist? That's my next question. What's next for you?
So the process for me is never stopping. I never stop. So
I
it
know you
never
never
stops. I
stop,
don't
but you
reach a
have
point and stop,
plans
look
for
around and think, what
2026.
now?
So, what's next for you in 2026? What do you
Yeah.
want to do?
So this year, I'm hoping to have my first album out, which will be all of my solo. Sorry, start again. It'll be all of my collaborative tracks that I've done with different collaborators, all consolidated onto one album. And that is hopefully coming out this year. I am just waiting for the green light
So, have you
from the
published it
record
yet? Have
label.
you
They've been
published the
sent the
collaboration
album.
album? Have you published the
Yeah, so
collaboration album?
yeah, so I've worked with a number of people. So Darwin McD, I've worked with Beautiful Crisis, Adam Collier, Avia, Eve Shelper, Heliophile, Guys van Overkerk, um, Peter Rainman, People Theatre. Um, oh goodness me, who else is there? I can't think. Oh, Matthias, Matt Danforth,
Hmm.
a whole raft of people. Um, and so JP Masterson, Gypster, who's come on with Beautiful Crisis. So a whole raft of very talented people. And I'm going to consolidate. I've sort of consolidated all of those tracks chronologically in release order, and I think I've proposed a 3 CD digipack model to the record label in Germany, Torben Schmidt, Infacted Recordings. I'm signed to them already with Form, the band Form, um,
Wow, a
with
lot.
Keith Trigwell and Rob Dust. So I'm just waiting on a thumbs up from Torben that he likes the album. He has to like it first, and if he like, and if and if he likes it, then maybe he will consider releasing it. And I'm
So,
hoping this
okay,
year
when you
because
publish it,
the album's
just send me a link.
finished. Yeah.
When you publish it, just send me a link. I want to listen.
Of course, yeah, and don't forget all the video people as well. One of my constants there is Heiko Landfried. He's going to be, I've proposed that one of the discs is videos, and obviously he'll feature on there largely. But we'll wait and see. I'll wait and see what Torben says first before I promise anything.
Interesting. A lot of things you do, man.
Yeah, it never stops. I've already got another
You
three.
always evolve, you know. You'll never stop.
Yeah, and that's the fun of it. I've got three, I think, further collaborative singles ready to go as well, in addition to that album. Um, but at the moment, I think my focus, if the album gets to be released and Torben likes it, hopefully that'll be out this year. But the main focus at the moment is on the new Shelter album, which I'm super excited about, and some other things that we are planning um, behind the scenes at the moment. The Jekyll and I for Shelter. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of work, a lot of plans in 2026. Interesting. Yeah. Looking forward to listen to some of your music in 2026.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
another question. Any advice for those looking to start producing electronic music? Is there a particular setup or process that may help others? What's your advice?
My advice is forget it. Go and get a day job. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I am joking. I believe me. It's only music that is. I think music has been the constant force in my life that has kept me sane and balanced through some really difficult and dark times. Music is something that is, it's either in your bloodstream, in
Yeah,
which case
you're right.
you can't fight it and you shouldn't fight it. Just go with it. I would say though, if there's any advice, I would say this because I've always lived by this mantra and I still do. Find your own lane,
Mm,
stay in your own lane, and believe you're in the right lane.
wow.
That's it.
So that's your advice.
That's it. Don't compromise. Don't compromise. Don't compare. Don't do anything. Don't even look what's happening either side of you. Just
Just
focus on the road ahead and focus on the goal that you know you need to achieve. And then you will not be distracted by white noise around you. There's a lot of white noise in this industry.
and you
Yeah.
forget one thing, break the whole all rules, you know.
Well, again, I think if you're true to yourself and I think if you're authentic as an artist,
Mm,
I think you will automatically break rules and break norms and break expectations just by being authentically you. And the one thing I always am is always authentically myself. I've sung things and written things and recorded things that people would think, "Oh my God, what the hell is that?" I've stepped out on stage in outfits that people have taken a look at and thought, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing." I think at the end of the day, I don't do things for theatrical effect. I do things because they are an extension of my personality, of who I am, and I've always lived that way. If I wear a skirt and heels, I'm confident enough to wear a skirt and heels out into the city on a normal night, on a normal thing. It's not a fad. It's not a gimmick. It's not a concept. That's who I am, and music just gives me that extra bit of artistic license to be able um to live that openly with other people.
to speak with other people by your own music.
Well, if I can inspire even one person along this route of mine, just one person, then it's been worth it.
That's Europe, you know, always people in Europe, always musicians, a lot of creative, yeah, creative people in Europe. So creative musicians have a lot of amazing plans, amazing inspiration, amazing journey, you know. It's very
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, there's no, when you start out in this industry, there's no prescriptive manual which gives somebody hands you and says, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it, this is the timeline for when you need to do it by, because there are things you can't account for, things such as market forces, things such as timing, which is a huge one. And the Jekyll and I have been doing our things since, like I said, since '99, and we stayed in our own lane. We've believed we're in the right lane, and it was never a question of if. We always believed in ourselves. It was just always a question of when, really, when the world or when the music market was ready for our sound. But just stay true to yourself and just keep going. I always say to people, the reason people don't succeed is they get jaded, they get tired. And don't get me wrong, I have been. You'll read posts from me. I've reached points I'm thinking I can't do this anymore. Because you get more rejection than you ever get acceptance. And a lot of the work you do is unseen and behind the scenes. People think that the song that they hear is everything, is that's it. But they don't realize how much hard work it's taken to
Yeah,
get
that's
that
what I
song
talk
out.
about. That's what I
They
talk
do
about.
not
Just
realize
hard
how
work.
many nights sleep we've lost, working weekends, working late evenings, and we're sometimes exhausted when we're doing it, but we wouldn't change it because something inside of us tells us this is what we were born to do. So we just keep going. So I
That's
always
your
say to
message.
people,
That's your message.
yeah, keep going. Don't give up. Keep going. The only reason people don't succeed is because they run
They
out of
give up.
energy
They just
and they
give
give
up.
up.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you start, from the first step, they give up because they see, it's very hard to continue.
And it is hard, and I'm not saying it's easy, is it?
It's
We
not easy.
we've
A musical journey
we
is not easy.
no. I mean, we're still fighting to be heard. We've
Just
done some
enjoy,
lovely
I think. Just
things.
enjoy what you have and enjoy the progress and
That's
make
what
your music. Share
that's what
it.
we do.
No
Yeah.
matter how
That
you do mistakes, it's okay. You evolve by time.
Yeah, I think if you're true to yourself and you're writing songs that you believe in and you're performing songs that you 100% behind, I think other people will start to believe in you because they will see that you're authentically you. Rather than giving socially desirable responses to the public that you think they want to hear or music that you think they might want to listen to.
Mm.
If someone likes, we've always had, it's not meant to sound arrogant in any way at all because with Rob and I are just not that people, but those people. But we say that we need to fall in love with the music first. And if other people can feel that same love that we feel for the music we make, then that's the best bonus you can hope for from it. But
Yeah,
you have to believe in it. You have to believe in it yourself first. If you don't
of
believe in it, other people
self-belief
won't.
is important in
Yeah,
musical
other
journey.
people are not going to believe in what you're doing. Yeah.
So, okay, just believe in yourself and continue. Okay,
Yeah.
another question. So, what are a few key lessons you have learned about producing that other aspiring musicians and producers could take advice from?
So the main lesson for me, the main lesson for me personally
Mm.
is not to produce, is to leave it to people who know what they're doing. So that sounds like a bit of a lazy cop out. Maybe it is. But one thing I think is important, learn about you, learn about what you know you're good at,
Yes,
and focus on improving on that. You can't be all things to all men. You can't. You can't be a really great singer, a really great songwriter, a really great producer, a really great mixer, a really great masterer, a really great engineer, a really great dancer, a really great costume designer, a great video maker. You can't, right? So you
you
can
can
you
do
can
all that,
delude.
because your life is so short. Just
Well,
focus
to be
on
honest,
one thing.
well, there's two things. There's two things. So as independent musicians,
Mm.
and even now, believe it or not, in the grand scheme of things, we're still considered an emerging artist because obviously we haven't hit mainstream as such. We're still sort of bubbling away in the background somewhere. But I think that monetary limitations mean that you're forced into a position where you have to sort of dip your toe in the water of all those things because you can't afford to pay everyone for all those things. The budget is zero to start with, so if you're not careful, you're going to have a very short-lived music uh, career. So the only thing I would say to acknowledge is work with good people, you know, give, where you can, give back to them what they give to you, because everything should be, mutually reciprocal in some way or, excuse me, in some way or another. Um, but I think first and foremost with producers, I would say, like, I know it's not my strength at all. The one thing I have is a really good ear for mixed balance. I have a very, very finely tuned ear for mixed balance, vocals to music, EQ processing. I've been doing this such a long time that my ears are the only honesty speakers I need. But the only thing I would say is, even though I recognize what makes a good mix and what it takes, I know that the execution of that, technically, I don't have the knowledge for. So you comes a point where you can articulate your ideas to someone. So I say to the producers all the time, in that third bar, the voice needs to be a bit louder, the guitar needs to drop a little bit. I can give my input, but I don't have the talent to sit at the desk and actually execute that. So it needs two things. You need to have a good ear, and you need to have a complete trust in someone who is producing the song for you. They have to have trust in your ear and your feedback and your input, and you have to have complete trust and faith in their talent. And it's a mutual interdependency. You lean on each other, and it has to be that way. The people I work with tend to be the same inner sanctum of people, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is I trust them implicitly. They totally get me. They know what I like. They know what I hate. They know what I look for, and they know what excites me. And we there's a mutually respectful kind of line. Whereas I know I can say my piece, but I don't cross that line. Beyond that is for them to do. Otherwise, they'll say, Mark, shut up. I'm the producer. You don't know what you're talking about. Leave it to me. They wouldn't say that, actually. They're not like those kind of people. But I think there's a line of acceptability where I, out of respect, I wouldn't cross. So they trust me with what I'm saying and what I'm doing, and I trust them completely with what they're doing. And it's a meeting of minds somewhere in the middle.
Mm.
Not
That's
always smooth. Sometimes it causes a lot of heated debate. Sometimes things can get heated a bit, where you have a difference of opinion. But at the end of the day, the final product is always, we all want what's best for the song. And that's it.
Yes, you're right. When you mix something, you need a good ear to balance everything,
Yeah.
to master it and to record it. It's hard, it's a little bit hard. You need training,
It's like
When
anything.
you
Yeah, it's like anything though. There's no fast track route to that. It's just experiential. You just need enough
time and
years.
train, just time and train.
Yeah,
It's
just
okay. Everything will be
it's like
well.
it's like muscle memory.
Yeah,
If you
Mr.
write enough songs and you record enough songs and you produce enough songs, your ears become more and more finely tuned. So what a norm is, but it takes time. You can't fast track your way to
She
knowing
will
those
know
things.
your
It takes
routine by time. She will know your routine by
Yeah.
listening. She will, she train herself from inside.
I started doing music when I was 12 and I'm 52 now. So it's taken me over 35 years
I
to
start
be able
making
to
music
understand.
in 27. You know, it's 27, but you are in 12 start. I'm, too late. I'm too late.
No, no, you're not. There's no such thing. I mean, I went back to school at 49 to retrain all over again in a completely new area. So I decided in my madness to study law. And you're never too old.
So you are a lawyer and musician.
Well, yeah, I'm, I'm training to be
How
a
do you
lawyer.
mix between that? That's
Well, it's hard. It's
that's
hard. I mean, it is it's a dedication of love. It is. I mean, I don't have really, outside of work, I don't have really many distractions. I don't have a partner, children, or animals or anything like that. So
that's
I'm I
hard.
ca- I can be selfish with my time, and I can just say no. I'm putting time aside now just to work on the
You know
album or
who you
work on
are. You know
this.
who you are. You just take care of yourself, and you know your power from inside.
I'm very focused. I'm blind focused on everything I do.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I
I
if
can
the
see.
second I commit to something, I'm everything else. I shut out everything else, and I just focus on that. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, Mark. Amazing journey you have. Really enjoy. With
It's
everything,
not
a
over.
lot of details, a lot of details, a lot of details, a
Yeah,
lot of amazing thing you do.
this wasn't going to be a quick win for me. I was in this for the long haul. I was always in this lifelong. And I always said that to people when I first went onto social media because I didn't want to go onto social media. And I told people, if I'm in this, you're going to get complete honesty from me. You're going to see the real me, good, bad, and indifferent. And I'm in it for the long haul. I don't expect, they say overnight success takes at least 10 years. So I'm in this for life,
Yeah, you
until
are 52 years old for now, and you will continue
yeah.
your journey.
Well,
You reach
when
60,
I
70, 80, and you start,
uh
improve.
listen, Omar, when I can't stand anymore and I can't hold the mic anymore and I can't sing anymore and everything,
That's not, don't say it.
I'll just focus. Yeah, I'll just say, okay, I'm gonna stop doing this now. I'm just gonna write songs. I'll write songs for other people. Yeah.
That's hard. I start making music in 27. I think that age, too late for me because the good age when you want to start is 12 or 15 to understand a lot of things. But I'm start too late. I'm a self-taught artist. I don't you take any certificate from any academy or institute. I study everything by myself.
Doesn't
Starting
matter.
from scratch, but it's hard for me.
Doesn't matter. The best musicians in the world are self-taught. Never had a
Thanks a
music
lot.
lesson in their life.
90% of musicians I met
They're
are self-taught.
self-taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had music lessons, and my brothers had music lessons when we were children.
You can take some
And
lessons, some online
yeah,
lessons to improve yourself, but for an
yeah,
academy, it's another level. You don't need to go to
no,
academy or institute to study. It's just,
no, exactly. And as I said, the beauty about music. Um, it's absolutely timeless. You look at artists like C6 Steve and people like that who are in this goodness knows what age. It doesn't really matter. Age is almost irrelevant. At the end of the day, you can either write and perform a good song or you can't. And the only thing people remember, they don't even remember the artist. What they remember is the song. It's the music that transcends time.
I make,
So
I
it
make an
so there's
understanding.
no right time or wrong time to write a fantastic song. Just write a fantastic song. We're still always striving to write, that great track. We've written a lot of what I think are great
If
tracks,
that
but
rock can inspire you from inside
but you always
and
want to
give
better
you a
yourself.
goosebump and give you a goosebump, he will inspire a millions of people.
Well, hopefully some songs we've written have done that, but you're absolutely right. I
Looking
think,
forward for it. Looking forward for
yeah,
it.
I think goosebumps the the absolute pinnacle that every artist wants to write, that connects with a listener in that way. That level of intimacy, that level of relatability, that level of being an absolute zeitgeist, a thing of a moment of its time, in its own time. Um, yeah, we all strive for that. We strive for that every song we write. So, and that's never going to stop. It's going to be a lifelong pursuit.
Nice journey, Mark. I'm looking forward for your new release. I want to listen what you do in 2026 and with the new collaboration. I will enjoy maybe with video you did. Do you have the YouTube channel?
We do, yeah. I can send you a link for that. No problem.
So okay, send me some links and you send me some links about your music in Spotify. I enjoy listening. Unbelievable, the sound. I'm always
I
just imagine everything with your music, with your mixing, with your recording.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I can't take any credit for that. If you're talking about Shelter, we are Shelter. Um, it's the Jekyll. It's Rob Bradley's genius is behind all of that. If you're talking about form, it's the genius of Keith Trigwell and Rob Dust. They're the geniuses behind that. If you're talking about the work with the other collaborators, there's people like Darwin McD, people like Adam Collier from Beautiful Crisis, people like you know, I don't know, Peter Rainman, people see they're the people who have the real technical prowess. You know, my job is to try and, co-write the song with them, um, to try and look a little bit pretty when it counts, and hope the people hope hope the
Okay,
people
it's
like
okay, it's okay.
what they hear. Yeah.
So, do you see the time left? It's been 2 minutes left. After that, the podcast will finish because we have 40 minutes. So, okay. So, I want to thank you for everything, Mark.
No, thank
That's
you for
the
inviting me
question
today.
I ask you today. So, I'm happy today to see you for real and chatting with you about your journey, about your music, about your art. You're really inspiring me, a big inspiration to people, to artists from around the world. You know, so if you need anything, drop me a message, okay? I will be always there. And
Absolutely.
thank you for that. And see you.
No, huge thanks and huge love to you there for inviting me, and huge thanks and huge love to
See
all
ya.
of my collaborators who are all the way around the world.
I wish we can
Yeah,
collaborate maybe in few future. I want to back to music in 2026. I want to do a lot of collaboration.
yeah.
I miss
I
the
never.
music.
Yeah, I never say never. It's always about the strength of the song. If I listen to an instrumental or piece of abstract music and it bites me in some way, then I'm always open minded to potentially writing for it, and seeing what comes out of it. Yeah,
That's awesome. Okay. So of course we keep in touch, and of course maybe I will make another podcast with a new journey, new artist,
absolutely.
a new inspiration. Look to the electricity. So okay. So okay, Mark, thank you so much
You
for
take
everything,
care.
and take care of yourself and appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. So
Bye.
thank you so much.